Oh my goodness. So, welcome to Community Day. It is just a fabulous collection of learning and enrichment and community. And many thanks to Tina and all the folks in Redwood City that make this happen. Let's get started. Hopefully, you're comfortably on a chair that has a little bit of padding. I always recommend a beverage, always. Water, just in case you're wondering how much mischief I can get into at 9 in the morning. My usual guest star, August, is here. He's just at the below screen at my feet. So what we're going to do is get started and find our feet, which just kind of for me, I just kind of rotate side to side a little bit until my feet touch the ground. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm in a new room because of house construction, so this may be as good as it gets for this morning. This may be better. Okay, so feel our feet. Let's just take a moment to kind of feel our pinky toes, and then all the toes up to the big toes, and just kind of pay attention to the inner edges of your feet and the circle of your heels back up to your pinky toes. Typically when I do this, I add a little pressure, not a lot, to my feet, and then my spine gets a little longer. Hopefully that's happening for you in a comfortable, interesting way. And together, let's close our eyes and notice our breath. Enjoying that since we're practicing at home, we are not wearing masks. Letting the inhale expand our chests, our bellies, our lungs. And with the exhale, releasing, finding a bit of ease. And when you're ready, we're going to blink our eyes open and find our mountain. So fingers are going to stretch low, and the top of your head is going to stretch high, high, high up to the sky. And again, this energy going in two ways: feet planted, fingers stretching, spine lengthening. Should feel like a little bit of an effort, but not torture. And then we'll inhale our hands just out to the side, say good morning, open your hearts, widen your fingers, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready to exhale, one arm over the other, does not matter which. Hug yourself in, pat yourself on the back for getting here. And if you need just a little bit more movement, you can, but you don't have to. Lift your elbows up with your inhale. And exhale, come on down. We're going to inhale our arms wide open again. And exhale, we're going to bring our arms in front. Press palms towards me, widen your fingers. Can you lift the fronts of your feet up? And then bring your fingers down, lift up the heels, stretching onto the toes. Couple more like this. Inhale, wide fingers, heels to the ground, toes coming up, and exhale, fingers down, heels up. And here we are. Neutral feet, rotate those palms to look at each other, and then interlace your fingers. We're going to press away from us with our palms looking at me. And when you're ready to exhale, you're going to bring those palms towards your heart. And inhale, come out. And exhale, come in. And inhale, releasing the shoulders. Exhale, come back. Take those arms down and just do a little swing side to side. And if it feels all right, maybe you'll lift the left foot and right hand and the left hand and right foot if you're ready. Just adding a little bit of movement to your morning and then right back into our mountain pose. I'm going to turn sideways just for a minute to show what I'm talking about. We're moving into cat-cow pose, and it's a big sideways motion. So we're going to start with long arms, looking forward. And when you're ready to exhale, you're just going to touch chin towards chest, round your upper back, belly scooping towards the back of your chair. And when you're ready to inhale, you start bending the elbows towards your ribs, chest coming forward, gaze up with the eyes. And then that curve happens the other way. And then we'll exhale, rounding back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, coming forward. And find neutral spine. I have to move so I can see you, but everybody else should be right in front. Okay, let's take those arms out again, just to the sides. Take those feet out just a tad wider, and let's move our arms up to this V for victory. And then release the shoulders down. Feel where your shoulders are. If they're forward towards your knees, that's not where, that might not feel so great. And if they're back leaning on the chair, let's let that be and bring those shoulders up over the hips. Now, what we're going to do is lift our heels up and tap, tap, tap our feet out, just so our heels are about even with the legs of the chair, if that feels comfortable. If something I'm doing or teaching causes you distress, any uncomfortable feeling, modify, and I will start with where we can modify. So first things, let's bring our hands down. You can modify right here by keeping in this active pose. And if you need a break from any of the shenanigans that we're going to go through in the next half hour or so, come to a resting point that may look like this, or might just look like this. And I'm using the word resting not quite correctly. This is a moment to catch your breath, refocus your practice. And truthfully, it's something I do in grocery store lines quite often, maybe not with my legs out like this, but let's pretend we're holding on to the cart and things are not really going perfectly well. I just release my shoulders, inhale, soften here. Maybe in a safe part of the store, not in the middle, not in the front of the deli counter. Just take a breath or two. That's my tip for the day. Where we were before, tip, 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 here we go. We're going to do a little bit of turning around the spine, just like a little washing machine, the old-fashioned kind. Let's take left hand to right knee. Start with right hand here. And as you can see, I started looking this way. Let's all do that. Let's look towards right shoulder. And when you're ready, we're going to windmill those arms up, up. This time, let our gaze come over to the left shoulder, and then bring that left hand down, right hand down. And then let's come to center, untangle the arms, roll the shoulders back. Now, this is a lovely point to get that spinal flexion. If you need more, this is the next step on that particular train ride. Let's inhale our arms up. This might be the best for your shoulders, or maybe you come up a little higher. Breathe in tall. Look forward, left hand, right hand. Now let's look towards that right shoulder. If nothing else changes in how you approach this particular pose, can you press into big toes and pinky toes and get those legs active? If there's a little bit more twist in you this morning, right hand can come to right hip and you start rotating your shoulders. So the right shoulder comes back, the left shoulder comes forward. Big breath in. Gaze comes back towards the screen. Left arm comes up, right arm comes up. Release the shoulders. Breathe in tall. Look towards the left shoulder, left hand, right hand. Release the shoulders away from ears. This is a lovely deep stretch. If you're ready to move into the more of your spine, if that's feeling okay, then that left hand, let's take it to the hip and start rotating that left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Big breath in. And windmill, right hand up, left hand up. Keeping the arms up. Can we release chin towards chest? This might feel like quite a lot. And then let's look forward. Lift up the heels, tap, tap, tap our feet in, heels down, hands to our knees. Pressing into palms, breathe tall. And we're going to forward fold. As we exhale, hinging right here at our hips, bringing ribs towards thighs. Now you're saying to yourself, I'm not built like a 11-year-old boy. What about my boobs? What about my belly? Here's our trick. Move your feet a little wider. Make room so you can enjoy a nice deep forward fold, which may be right here, hands and elbows meeting. The back of your spine from the crown of your head to your tailbone is stretching. And when you're ready, we're releasing. Your head might feel heavy. If there's a more of a fold that feels good for you, you're of course welcome to walk your hands towards your feet. However, as I've said before, you're not, what your body can do this morning is much, much more important than what you wish your body could do this morning. So kind of take a breath in, exhale, relax into the abilities that you have. And when you're ready, push-ups begin. Hands to those thighs, elbows towards the ribs. Press into your palms. Push, 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 push up. Why am I making us do this? Well, I'll tell you. Let's breathe in tall. Exhale, come down, bending those elbows. When we're using our arms and our belly to push us up, our back is getting a break. One more like this. Inhale tall. Exhale, just about halfway down. Press into those palms, elbows towards the ribs. Press, 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 press. So one of my goals for when we practice together is we get stronger. So as we're all pretty wise at this point. We know our belly and our backs are quite connected. If we're getting stronger from here around here, which we've already been working on, our back has a bit more support for all that it does to keep us upright, which is important. Okay, lecture over. Inhale tall. Exhale, soften, soften, soften. This time we're going to take our arms up as high as suits you. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's press fingers, palms together, thumbs to heart if they can feel, if that works for you. And feel the pressure of left side pressing into right side, front side pressing into back side, and just waking up your body. Big breath in. Release the hands down. Shake out those wrists just a little bit. Let's inhale tall. Exhale, we're going to go to that hand to heart thing again. This time, we're going to slide our right foot forward, our left foot back. My left heel is going to be off the ground if possible. And where we're going next is taking shoulders forward of hips, engaging the belly. It's as if I'm going to run into your practice studio, wherever that might be, and poke you in the belly. I haven't done that lately, but it's that feeling of really engaging your core. Breath in and exhaling, either using your hands to come back or using your belly, not your back, to come back. Let's take our right arm out. Sail that left arm out to the side. Right now, my shoulders and hips are facing forward. It might suit me or you to take that shoulder back. And when that happens, my left hip starts traveling back a little bit. My right foot has to stay very active. And when you're ready to exhale, I want that left arm coming forward, that right arm comes back. And if your neck says yes, just look towards that thumb as it comes back. And exhale, come forward. Inhale the arms tall, slide that right foot back under the right knee. Now, this is student's choice. Hands can come under the thigh of the left leg, or if that doesn't feel good, hold on to the chair as we do a little flexing and pointing. Flexing and pointing can keep toes on the ground, heel lifting up, or you can interlace under that leg and flex and point. If you're feeling strong and steady, you can start circling. And if you're saying, I'm just feeling good about everything that's happening, you could sail that right arm out as you change circle with that left foot. Again, this isn't optional. This is what I would call a party pose. Doesn't need to happen. Let's bring that left foot down. Let's inhale those hands up. Exhale, adding a deep forward fold. Hands slide down towards the knees, towards the toes. And when you're ready to exhale, elbows towards the ribs, let's come back up. Release into the shoulders. Inhale, tall. Round two. So the right foot is going to tap, tap, tap back. The left foot's going to come forward just a little bit. And maybe you're going to come forward, gentle mid-fold. Exhale, come back. Left arm comes down. Right arm comes down and open up, 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 up. Let's look towards that back thumb. Finding the rotation that makes sense for you. And when you're ready to exhale, look towards that right thumb. Come on forward. Inhale that left arm back. Look towards that left thumb, stretching all around the spine. And exhale, let's come forward. Okay, inhale tall. Now, this is where we're gonna just play with what is possible in our bodies. Slide that left foot back a little bit, moving into a flex and a point. You can keep your arms up here with toes on the ground. You can keep your arms down here with toes on the ground. You can add this. And if you got fancy on the first side, maybe you float an arm, but add a little flex and a point, and then a circle. And then we'll circle the other way. And when you're ready, feet come down, and now we're going to travel forward a little bit in our chairs. Feet stay on the ground, hands hold you steady, and let the knees move side to side. Shoulders keep looking at the screen, and hips get a very welcome stretch. And settle into the middle here. Now, please, let's move ourselves back a bit. We're going to slide our right foot forward. You can't see my toes, but I promise you, my toes are flexing towards my shin. If your chair is biting you in the back of the thigh, adjust, 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 and enjoy this stretch. If you're saying to yourself, oh my goodness, I love this so much, I feel I want to go and take my right hand to travel down towards my right knee, that's fine. If you're saying to yourself, I love this so much, I'm going to forward fold and slide my hands down a little bit more, that's fine. But keep your hips traveling back while your shoulders travel forward. Tucking the chin for a little neck stretch. And then we're going to slide everything back and tap, 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 tap those feet. Side two. Maybe let's take a big breath in to kind of clear the space. Sigh everything out. Right foot moves in a little, left foot comes out a little, toes towards the shin, and same rules apply. Get comfy here and adjust this stretch to the point where you're maybe feeling a little bit of heat in the back of your leg. And you can take any version you'd like. As shoulders over hips is the starting point, and a really good place to take a deep breath in. If there's a little bit more space, you exhale, support right hand to right thigh, left fingers might walk down that leg, chin comes towards chest. And breath in as we come back up. And again, a little bit of energy into those feet. Hands to the chair, move forward again. And oh, this is August. Take those knees. Oh, hello, August. Side to side. Gently, gently stretching the hips. And we'll move back just a bit. Feet back under the knees. We've done a lot of stretching forward and back now. I'm going to move us back to our sides. Back to the ballet studio. Let's take our arms wide. Thumbs are up, palms looking at me. Wiggle the fingers a little bit. Lift up those heels and we'll tap, 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 tap our feet out and release our heels down. Inhale, get the nice tall spine that we've come to love and enjoy. We're going to take our left hand to our left hip. Right hand's going to come up to the top of our heads. And then release right ear towards right shoulder just a bit. I'm hoping you're feeling a lovely stretch here. If you need a little bit more lovely to make this interesting, you can always slide that left hand down towards the earth. Just find what feels good and like a gentle stretch. We don't need to put any pressure on this hand. The weight of the head is plenty. Let's come up, hands to hips. Roll the shoulders once, twice, 3 times. Breath in. Connect hands here for just a moment of coming back to why you're here. Finding deep breath. Maybe finding that your thoughts and worries are kind of slowing down or maybe taking a little break, and that would be delightful. We're going to take that left hand to the head, right hand to the hip, left ear towards the left shoulder, adding or subtracting. If you need a little bit more sensation, you stretch this arm down. If you need a little less sensation, you lighten that left hand or release it completely. Let's come up to center. Hands come down. Let's roll the shoulders forward once, twice, 3 times. About this point in class, I like us to stop, bring ourselves kind of to a center point, consider whether it's a good time to take a little bit of water in. Cheers. If you didn't bring water, don't worry. It's not a mandatory part of what I do. I just like to recommend a little bit of hydration. With gentle yoga, we are moving. We are moving a lot of parts that you might not move in the same patterns in a given day. So just water, lubricates everything, helps us just stay healthy and strong. Now, there are some of us who are thinking, I'd like to do that standing chair yoga piece. I'm going to get there. If that is you, I'm going to kind of review my top tips for transferring, which means the action between sitting and standing or lying and standing. It's always good to just take that, not even half a second of attention and awareness, because I've actually in my life had an extremely bad fall, had a head injury, had to rehabilitate. If I can nag you or encourage you or teach or instruct anyone to just take it a little slower at these moments where things can get topsy-turvy, my work is done. So everything I teach standing can be done from the chair. So if a standing practice makes no sense for you, take another sip of water while we practice and ignore what I'm about to do, or listen for future use. Hands on the front of the chair. Activate the core. Yep. And then let's tip shoulders forward, looking until our nose comes over our toes. Feel the weight shift in your feet. And in that moment, lift, engage your core, engage your legs. Whew. I'm gonna have to change my screen. Okay, this will be good enough. And what I'm going to do is move my chair, because I want to have a side view of what I'm teaching, or I want y'all to have a side view of what I'm teaching, not necessarily, you don't need to move your chair as long as there's enough space behind you to walk back, walk forward. And sometimes it helps to keep the chair on something sticky. I have my yoga mat here. You can't see it, but it's here. So the first thing we're going to do is get steady on our feet. And for me, that means I'm going to rock a little bit side to side, look down at my feet, make sure there's space between my feet, maybe 2 fists. Maybe you can just look down and make sure your heels and hips are sort of in the same space. Find something to look at that's in front of you. Relax the shoulders down. And we're going to play with balance poses. So I highly recommend hands to the chair, lifting the heels as we inhale, and exhale, come down. Now, before we do anything else, take a breath in, find your steadiness. If that created a little bit of wobbliness, not a big deal. If it caused enough distress that you don't want to do it again, totally respect that, but lift a heel and come down. Lift a heel and come down, or do the double lift and come down. And if you're still having fun with this, you can lift your heels, stay here for a moment, and then please come on down. Because we have the chair here to kind of give us a little super strength, kick out one leg if you can, kick out the other, maybe kick behind and kick the other way, and then return, relax. I am going to turn towards you just for a moment, but don't worry, I'm going to go back to my other ways. Mountain pose standing looks very much like mountain pose seated. So the feet are active, the toes are holding the ground, not clenched, but just like, oh yeah, find that connection. Stretch the fingers low, top of the head is coming up towards the sky. Find a little bit of ease here. And if you need a break in the next few minutes and you are standing, this is very available, or even holding on to the chair, very available. I'm going to rotate my belly back towards the chair. So everybody please have their shoulders and hips looking at the chair. Find that point about 5-8 feet in front of you to look at, and walk your feet back. Lengthen your spine. Look down towards the ground. And I'm going to exaggerate this, but my tailbone is going to come up towards the sky. But that doesn't mean you need to be like sway back. You can be nice and a flat back. And if your shoulders do not enjoy this, walk your feet up. If possible, look towards right arm, then towards the ground. Look towards left arm, then towards the ground. Take a big breath in, let your belly soften. Exhale, look forward, slide or tap that right foot forward, bend into that right knee. We're going to look forward. This may be plenty for your morning. To help your balance a little bit, stretch your right inner thigh, your left inner thigh. Kind of think of them coming towards each other. If this is feeling delightful, some of the alternate things we can do is keep one hand down, lift right, one arm, come down. Sometimes you can lift an arm and stretch a little bit into the hips and the knees and come down. And there are some folks who are feeling steady and happy here that can lift up both hands. If you're seated, same rules apply as we did a few minutes ago. The right foot is forward, the left heel is back. And if you are seated and your bum is on the chair, I count on you to lift both hands and come back. Where we're going from here, seated or standing, is you bring your feet together. Relax to mountain with hands on, hands off. Inhale the hands tall. Forward folding. If you're seated, you do the same hip crease, shoulders come towards the knees. If you're standing, the hips go back. And this time, if you are seated or if you are standing, bend one knee, bend the other. This is called walking the dog. Adding a little bit more stretch to the sides of your body. Breathe in, just long spine here. If your bum is in the chair, start lifting your shoulders up over your hips. If your seat is in the air, look towards the front of your chair, take that left foot forward. So seated people, left foot forward, right foot back. Standing people, here we go. Shoulders over hips. Stretch those legs towards each other. Add any little details to the fun that you might want to. Maybe a lift and a soften. Maybe just a lift. And that's plenty of balance challenging. If you're in the seat, I'm going to it's Scout's honor that you're doing a little bit more with your arms because you are steady in the seat. And then we're going to take that back foot to meet the front. And everybody stomp, 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 create a little bit of friction to your feet. Relax to mountain. Inhale tall. And we're going to rotate. It doesn't matter which side is closest to the chair, but just remember which side you start with. If you're in the chair, plant your left foot. I'm going to just do this because it's easier because I'm starting with my left foot planted. We're going to grow our tree. I'm going to change a little bit of what you can see here. So I want to be clear. You may have seen tree pose look like a lot of things in your past, and those are great. But for today and for us, all of us are going to lift the right heel, seated or standing, and then we're going to just float that right knee out. Now, for some of us, having that right foot out a little bit will help us be steady. Some of us are old. If you know tree pose, I don't need to tell you how to do all the different fun things you can do with it. But let's just pretend we're beginners, which is always a good place to start. See how this feels holding on to the chair. Maybe you can grow your branch. If you are seated, you keep that right foot out and you start stretching here. If you are standing, this right hand can be like an anchor or a training wheel. And maybe you're saying, what happens if I bring my foot in or in? Play with that. Play with getting a little bit of movement into your arm or branch. And then when you're ready, we're going to rotate, standing or seated. We're going to bring that right knee forward. Let's use our training wheel again. Right toes are on the ground, and depending on your happiness with this, your comfort with this, finding something to look at to help you with your steadiness, you can either bring heel down, toes stay on the ground, or maybe there's a knee lift and a knee lift. Your toes are touching down, your knee is coming up, and then you're saying, okay, Ruth, enough already. Hold on to the chair or hold on to the chair, circle around. If you're seated, your shoulders are going to be better at circling. If you're standing, your hips are going to be better. And side two. I do furniture moving. Nobody else needs to. I like to see everybody and be seen. Okay. August is checking in. Come here, August. Okay, no. All right, so now our right hip is closer to the chair. Our right leg is steady and strong. If you are seated or if you're standing, lift that left heel and rotate that left knee out. And play with spacing. Maybe you bring that foot in close. It might be better to keep that foot out. And maybe even you bring the heel down. Just kind of play with what feels best in your hips. Left arm is your anchor or your sail. If somebody's nautical, please tell me which it is. Training wheel works for me. And let's play with what you can do with the arm. When you're ready, take that left hand to encourage that left knee forward and get those hips and shoulders in the same plane. Left arm is steady, right leg is active, toes touch down. Maybe it's a heel to earth and toes stay down. Maybe it's the toes are brushing and the knee comes up and the toes brush down to the earth. Brush up and down. One more here. Yay. Let's kind of give it a little wiggle, little shake. Turn to the chair again and let's just take big circles if you can. If you are seated, you're holding on to the chair and moving those shoulders around. And everybody but I'm going to do some furniture moving. And again, my persnickety ways, we're going to review how to sit. I know you know how to sit. If you've taken my class, you're like, oh Lord, here she goes again. But just in case, calves find the back of the chair. fingers slide down till they find the edges of the chair, and then slowly release the bum. Ha, and oops, okay. We're doing fine with time. It's a miracle. So let's come forward in our chair, and all of us at this point have worked across the body. We have worked side to side. We have worked up and down. We have even done some semicircles, which leads me to believe it's time to take a deep breath in and find our favorite forward fold of the day, making room for our bellies. This time it's very, very good time to relax the head, relax the chin. If your hands find the ankles, that's great. If your hands find the floor, that's fabulous. Let's find a big inhale, maybe sighing out as we exhale. And when you're ready, one more push up. I know, tricky me. Elbows towards the ribs, palms pressed to thighs, roll on up. Release the shoulders. And now we are going to settle into the backs of our chairs. I'm moving side to side so you can see I'm really doing it. I'm moving to the back of my chair. However, when I come to the back of the chair, my feet do touch the ground. If that does not happen for you, I'll show. Shameless plug. Where did my daughter go to school? Oklahoma. You can bring a little, for future use, a little pillow or a towel under your feet to get that strong connection and that ease into your hips. Highly recommend it. So we're sliding back. Maybe there's a gentle curve to our spine. We've been very long in our spine for the last 45 minutes. Now we can kind of soften, relax our shoulders, relax our hands to our laps, let our chin soften. Maybe your eyes are closed, or maybe you're just kind of looking down towards your knees. Finding a slow, steady inhale, a slow, steady exhale. Inhaling peace, exhaling, feeling a bit of ease throughout your body. And when you're ready, let's wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, blink our eyes open. And one more time, lengthen our spine, feel our feet on the ground. Big breath in. Exhaling our hands to our hearts and taking a moment to be grateful first to yourself for finding time and energy for this practice. Second, to those who support you in all the things you do. And third, this breath of gratitude towards our community, our world, for all that we get to participate and serve. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of Community Day. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you,
Oh.
Adaptive PE. We appreciate you guys. Take
Oh.
care.
Bye-bye. Take care. So good to see you, Val.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, Bruce. How are you? Beth. Oh my goodness. Hello, Gloria. Clarice, it's so good to see everybody. Oh my goodness. I
It's
know
like-
it's time to go, but
It's like romper room. You need your little IC.
Thank you.
I know it's like, yes, and we don't have to wiggle our teeth and see if that's
Yeah.
what I remember from romper room.
Yes, exactly.
See you on Monday.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.